I'm Thomas Brown. We're here to discuss a book that we have recently been reading called Amber and Clay by um, Laura Schlitz about Greek mythology, Greek history, especially when it comes to like pottery and architectural finds that have been recently made. Um, it definitely a great read for anybody that was interested.
My name is Sonia James. I'm at the McGill Library, and we're here today discussing Amber and Clay. And I personally like Greek mythology. I think it's for everybody.
And my name is Chris, and I'm excited about talking about this book and other books. It's interesting. This book is kind of written for middle schoolers, but and we're all kind of interested in reading it.
And I actually find some of the juvenile fiction books are more, I enjoy them kind of more than I do adult fiction sometimes.
Thomas, you read Amber and Clay, and one of the things they talk about is like an archaeological mystery. I wonder how that plays out in the book.
Yeah, Miss Chris, the book is based on an artifact that was uncovered and it was painted by an anonymous painter that was known as the horse painter. It's a young guy pursuing a young girl with wings, and they're both being pursued by a bear. What was interesting about that work of art that was discovered is it was the only work of art that ever showed a young man and a young woman together, and bears were not a very common animal depicted in Greek mythology. And a girl by the name of Melissa, which was in the aristocracy of Athens. And it kind of pursues the unique relationship, brings into focus a certain archaeological find. It could be pottery, a wheel of a chariot, and incorporates that into that chapter. So it also kind of introduces you to a little bit of the humanities aspect of ancient Greek by introducing the type of pottery they had, how they traveled by horse and chariot, and I found it to be very interesting.
Is it in verse? Is it in verse?
There's certain parts of it that are written very similar to verse, and it kind of seems more like it goes into a poetry type of prose. And when it enters that kind of verse, it introduces you to some Greek terms that we're not always familiar with today. Incorporated the Greek prose, a few Greek terminology from the ancient times into the book.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting book. I know we have her book Splendors and Gloom and Good Masters, Sweet Ladies. Um, it seems like she really does a good job with historical fiction. She really brings it to life. So the gods speak in this book, right? They kind of speak to the reader.
At the beginning of each chapter, there's typically a god. Most of the time, it's Artemis, and he kind of describes either what has happened in a previous chapter, how the gods of Greek interpreted or saw those kind of things. And sometimes he would even speak in front of the chapter to kind of highlight something that was fixing to happen.
I'd definitely say I'd be interested in reading it. And you, Sonia, you're definitely
Yeah,
interested.
I would definitely be
Yeah.
interested in reading it. I would definitely be getting it on my Kindle to read it.
Yeah, and I think she would be an author if you're, interested in that historical fiction.
Yes.
Even though her stuff is really for middle school age students, I think it would be interesting for adults to check out.
Those of you who are interested, this is a book that we currently have available at Quincy. So feel free to stop by and check it out.
All right, thanks, guys.
All righty. Bye bye.